Hello and welcome. You're with IndiaPostLive.com, India's first live conversation web television. This is one space, this is one platform which belongs to you as well as to all of us. You can talk to us online, you can join our conversation, you can also send us your audio posts, your video comments, your audio comments, and of course you can tweet us at @IndiaPostLive and #IndiaPostLive. Well, today is Tuesday, and Tuesdays are the days we discuss technology, what's new, what's coming, and what can we expect from that. So today we're going to talk about the 4G technology in India. We are also going to talk about the phones which are 4G enabled and how ready is India as far as the 4G technology is concerned. Joining me in the studio, I have Abhishek Bhatnagar. Abhishek is the founder of Gadgets to Use and he is a tech blogger. Abhishek, welcome back to India Post Live. It's always a pleasure having you. I also have online guests. I have Sudipta Chakraborty. He joins us from Pune. He is a tech enthusiast. Hi, welcome to the conversation. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, welcome to the conversation. We are going to hear your thoughts on the 4G technology. We also have Siddhant A. Siddhant is a tech blogger, techmania.com. He writes for that, and he joins us from Chennai. Siddhant, welcome to India Post Live. Hi.
Hello.
All right, great. So we have three tech buffs, we have tech bloggers, and we have one completely technologically challenged curator. That's me. So I'm going to learn a lot about 4G technology from all of you. I say that every time, don't I, Abhishek? But it's a lot of fun doing that. Okay, because you know, I really learn a lot from all of you. Okay, so let's start with 4G. 4G is, of course, 4th generation. And I was also reading that it's also called LTE, which is long-term evolution, right? So why is it long-term evolution? What is the meaning of that? Really?
Maybe it took a long time to actually came to India, and it will take slightly more time to get India be 4G ready. It is right now active in tier 2 and tier 3 towns. It is also is under testing in major towns like Delhi and Mumbai as well. But definitely India as of now is not 4G ready. It is not rolled out across India properly.
Right.
So the connectivity is not there on all areas.
Before 4G, can we talk about little bit about 3G also? Because you know we hear about, I mean, my phone is supposedly 3G enabled and all of that, but we are sitting in Delhi. How you know 3G savvy has India really become? That we are already talking about 4G, that's why I'm asking.
So 3G came out like, I guess, 2 years ago, to be very precise, I would say. So 3G came out and it was not effective across all the areas. In terms of connectivity, it was lagging behind. As of now as well, in terms of connectivity, 3G is not a proper connectivity, which you can get at least even in Delhi, which is the major cities, and even in Mumbai as well, you don't get a proper 3G connectivity. So you have problems with the connectivity with this particular protocol as of now. And now they're talking about 4G, that 4G will come and it will revolutionize the way you communicate, it will make things faster, it will do a lot of things. But I would say a lot of infrastructure is something which is required to make this possible. We live in cities and other areas where it is not a proper development. You can say
it's not a standalone thing.
It is not a systematic. It is not a systematic development which has been done.
Right.
So you will have a lot of hindrances as well for the signal. So you need a proper infrastructure which is supposed to be there before you roll out a 3G plan or before you roll out a 4G plan.
All right.
So.
All right. Let me. Okay. We are of course not very optimistic about you know 4G in its present form. Let me get Siddhant's views on that. What do you think? I mean, I don't. As Abhishek also said, even 3G itself is not really as effective or taken off as well throughout the country, and we're already talking about welcoming 4G and 4G enabled phones and all of that. What are your views, Siddhant?
Yeah, so as Abhishek actually pointed out, even I have the similar views, because all the cities like metros also, the connection, the infrastructure is not yet there right now. And people still use phones which do not have the proper 2G signal. They don't have network places in most of the areas. So until the infrastructure is completely built for all the tier 1, tier 2, as well as the metros, it's going to take a lot of time to get 4G used to by the people in India.
Right. Shudipto, can I come to you now?
Yeah, sure.
Whatever information do you have on how the 4G technology is so many times better than 3G? What can we expect from the 4G technology? Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, there are few drawbacks as well and pros, as we know, as 4G is way faster than 3G because it's the next generation. But at the same time, what irks me the most is that it is going to eat up the battery most. As Abhishek sir said, it has very less coverage. So 4G was first announced in Kolkata, and then there also it was like we didn't had that much of privilege of enjoying 4G. We were supposed to, or we were using 3G instead of 4G. Because 4G, even we have 4G, there were few places, not even in entire Kolkata. So there were few drawbacks we having 4G.
Okay, so do you think India is 4G ready now?
No, India is not at all 4G ready because even if we take a look at all the devices that are available in India, most of the people get budget devices, and all the 4G devices are like above 40,000 price bracket.
Right. Okay. We will talk about the 4G devices in a little while. From now, let's first talk about the technology. How is 4G better than the 3G? You talked of, obviously everybody talked of faster because it's the 4th generation compared to the 3rd generation. But 4G is also touted to be the fastest wireless internet service. So what does that mean? Yeah.
So again, when it comes to place and when it becomes properly active, when the infrastructure is there, definitely it is much better than using a 3G because the kind of protocol you have, the kind of spectrum with which the 4G is actually powered with in India. So you have TD, LTE, 4G in India. The kind of spectrum you are looking at as of now, it is being unused. So this is the kind of frequency range in which nothing is being operational as of now. So if you start using that for data, you will have much faster data speeds. You will have a lot of things to do. And if there is the hardware which is powering that 4G is there across all the areas where you go, then definitely it makes a lot of sense to use it. It will be almost 4 to 5 times faster than 3G.
3G, right.
So which actually makes a lot of sense, especially when we are talking about HD videos being streamed online. If you are watching a video from YouTube which is an HD video, then definitely
buffering, right?
So you don't want to see any buffering. In that case, you would like to see that video smoothly. You will be able to do that as of now on 3G as well. But if the phone actually detects that you are not in the area where 3G is there, then the video will start buffering, and that is something which you will not see on 4G if it is properly implemented.
Okay, we were talking about shared resources. We were talking about the fact that 4G, the technology is there, but it's not standalone. It needs infrastructure, right? So how, who are the pioneers who are actually bringing this technology in, and how do we see? Take us through the phases of the technology, really.
Yeah. So as of now, it is a spectrum which is going to be sold, which is going to be auctioned, and different players are operating in different areas. For example, Reliance is one of them. Reliance Jio is the one of the most
Shudipto talked of Kolkata. They have come into Kolkata?
Yeah, they have. And again, Airtel is testing 4G in Bangalore.
Okay.
And in some other parts of South India.
Right.
So they are working over there, they are establishing their base stations, they are testing the 4G speed. Some of the people do have the access to actually test it, some of the people. And I do also got access to 4G from Airtel. I did test it around Gurgaon, so which is a good thing. Especially it is not yet ready, but once it gets ready, and the people who are actually working for it, different brands, they are working for it because they see a lot of money coming from it. So it is going to be something which they would like to enjoy in terms of what profit they can make out of it. So just like 3G, when it was implemented, it was not very much affordable. So it took around 2 to 3 years for 3G to be affordable as of now for people out there.
Right.
So 4G will come to India, I think by the end of this year, you will have 4G being implemented in major cities as well as in some other towns as well. But it will come at a cost which you might not want to go for. So it is going to be a costly affair as of now. You would rather go for 3G plan rather than opting for a 4G plan even
Till
if you have a 4G, even if you have a 4G phone, because of the cost which is involved. So these players are betting good amount of money on it, and they would like to make profit.
Another thing, Siddhant, if I may ask you, suppose I have a 3G dongle, and suppose I'm like a tech geek like you guys, and if I want to enable 4G, I'll have to buy a new one, right? There is no way to upgrade that, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you'll have to buy a new 4G dongle which supports the particular frequency spectrum, so that the bands which are there, which supports 4G, that can be possible only with a 4G modem, and it's not downgradable by a 3G modem.
Why will I want to do that if it costs me a lot of money? The point Abhishek is making, I'm just adding to it.
Yeah.
So it will take time,
what I feel is, yeah, as Abhishek also pointed out, that it's going to take a lot of time, at least 2 years, so that all the cities, all the metros get the specified spectrum and 4G becomes a common thing. So that may also be a good point for 3G customers, because the prices of 3G is going to come down, and 4Gs will be like skyrocketing. So once it's stable, you can expect more people to actually move on to 3G as well, compared to what it's right now.
No, I mean, people are in a 3G era, people are still using 2G now, right?
Exactly.
People are using 2G now in a 3G era, and we are already talking about the 4G coming in. So realistically, 2016 end is when I guess somebody like me will want to, switch to a 4G.
Yeah, exactly. Even I feel it will take probably 1 to 2 years to get stabilized, so that all the cities and metros actually have that particular infrastructure. You have to actually communicate what is the advantage of using 4G, and at the same time you have to actually keep the prices to a lower level so that everyone can actually adopt it.
All right. Sudipto, let me bring you in now, please. From Pune. Okay, what are your ideas? Okay, we have all been talking very negatively, I know, about 4G and whether we are ready or not. But that's okay. It's a new technology and it will take time. You were talking, I think, about the battery backup that really irks you, right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. Yeah.
So the thing is, for 4G, it uses multiple antennas. 4G devices uses multiple antennas than the 3G device.
Okay.
So in that process, it eats up more battery than regular 3G or a regular Wi-Fi connection. So if we if we have devices like Samsung Galaxy S5, which is 4G enabled, so if we have battery lives just like regular devices we use every day, so that may be the battery life may be reduced. Like if we have a full 1 day battery backup, maybe it will be reduced to 3/4 of a day. So that's a thing that we would not like to consider. And
naturally.
That's why if I get 4G, I'll rather prefer using 3G over 4G.
No, I have a 3G enabled phone, and I can tell you that I get irritated with my battery backup. I was discussing it with you the other day, Abhishek, and you were giving me those little tips to save battery and all of that. Okay, let's take a look at some of the 4G enabled phones that are coming into the market. Abhishek, you'll have to tell us what is already there and what are yet to come in. And of course, I can definitely tell you that these phones are all extremely costly, except for perhaps a couple. So coming up on your screens now, information on the latest 4G smartphones that are available in the market now. Okay, there we have it. Okay, these are phones, and these are phones which are there in the market, and we are going to compare it in terms of the battery and what we can expect once the 4G technology comes in, right? Okay, Abhishek, take us through that. I can see some horrible numbers.
So the most costly out of all these is the LG G Pro 2, which is approximately, you can say 40,000 rupees in the market.
40,000?
Yeah, it is. So
Sony Xperia 49,000.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So all these phones are above 40K.
What
there are
will
some
I
phones.
Yeah.
So there are some phones which are kind of cost effective as well, which are low in terms of the price. But again, if you use 4G on any of these phones which are listed, then the kind of backup you get as of now using 3G is going to be less than half than the current backup you get with 3G.
So backup, by that you mean the battery, right?
Yeah, the battery will give you, if the battery was supposed to give you around 1 day of backup with any of these phones with 3G, then you will get around only 1/4 of the day backup. That's it.
1/4 of the day backup.
Almost you can say you can expect a backup of around 40% only.
I am looking at a very interesting number there. Look at the Gionee M2.
Yeah.
That has a tremendous battery and the cost is, you know, tremendously low comparatively.
Yeah. So again, the Gionee M2 over there, I'm not sure whether it actually supports 4G.
Okay.
It is a cost-effective phone. Normally these phones does not. The chipset which is there on this phone, it is 1.3 GHz MediaTek 6582 chipset. This chipset as of now does not support 4G.
4G, okay.
So definitely, even it has a battery, you won't be able to use 4G on it.
All right.
So because this one does not.
So obviously it's unrealistic in terms of the costs also to enable 4G technology.
So as of now, if you talk about any of the phone, one of the phone which I can tell you, which is not listed over here, this one is from Gionee again. It is called Control V5. You have a 4G version of this phone coming up, and it is 18,000 rupees approximately, which is going to be an affordable price. And if you consider that phone, I think it should be able to give you good amount of backup. But again, we will all see once it is coming into the market. But yes, that is going to be an affordable option if you want to have a 4G phone.
So out of these phones that we just saw, the LG Pro 2 and the Lenovo and the horribly priced Sony Xperia Z2.
So these are the premium ones.
Yeah, these are the premium ones. Which of them already have 4G?
So which of them already have 4G? LG G Pro 2 have 4G.
Which one?
LG
G Pro 2, okay.
And Sony Xperia Z2 also support 4G.
Okay.
And these are the two premium phones. So let's talk about these two.
So when you're talking, when you just told me that 4G technology is going to be coming in by the end of the year, so is it the cost will be approximately the same or will it be more?
For example, Samsung Galaxy S5, which is there in the market. So Samsung Galaxy S5 comes for a price of approximately 32,000 rupees or 35,000 rupees to be very precise.
Right.
But they have recently launched the 4G version of that one.
Okay.
Because what these brands actually do, they always launch a 3G version first, and then they will launch the 4G version later on to make some more money.
Naturally.
So this is how they do. For the 4G version of Samsung Galaxy S5 is 50,000 rupees, almost half a lakh, which is quite a good amount of money, which people may not want to spend on it just because it will have 4G.
Yeah, because anyway, I guess everybody knows that 4G is anyway for it to be become completely, you know, user friendly and, you know, all of that to be supported by the infrastructure, it will take at least 2 years.
Yeah.
So might as well save, let the cost go down and then buy it. Right. That's what you're saying,
so
right?
These phones are 4G ready, especially the premium ones like Samsung Galaxy S5, LG G Pro 2. But the kind of pricing at which they are coming, people will definitely go for the 3G version, even if they want to buy that phone, because look at the price difference, almost 15,000 rupees, which is the price difference for these two phones. And when you have 4G on your phone and you are buying a phone for 50K, and even it is not rolled out into your city, and it will take like at least 2 years from now to get stable, then it does not make sense to go for the same phone just because of 4G you are paying 15,000 rupees extra.
Why are we paying 15,000 rupees extra, Siddhant? When you're saying that the battery life is less,
yes.
Why are we paying 15,000 rupees more just because it's a 4G?
Yeah, I mean, you could say this is kind of brand statement. It's like a style statement. I've got a 4G phone, and oh wow, that's a Samsung Galaxy S5 4G version. Oh, mere paas hai. Come on, that's awesome. So it's like a style statement, you know. I mean, people want to flaunt off. Okay, I have an Apple 5s. I have a Samsung Galaxy S5. So I think it's just a style statement for people to actually go for it, as well as for companies' branding. It's like a marketing gimmick. That's it.
All right. So can the phones do anything to really, you know, do something about the battery backup? Because see, the cost needs to be justified, na? You're saying it's only for the 4G. There's nothing else to it. Only for seamless, non-buffering videos and probably better face-to-face chats. Yeah. That's what I'm getting from what I understood from what all of you talked. Now for that I'm paying 15,000 rupees more and I'm getting a battery backup less than half of what it is now. I mean, that's ridiculous. I'm sorry to say, I'm finding it quite ridiculous, this entire thing. So, okay. I mean, all those of you who are watching this conversation, we're in the middle of it now. I would like all of you to please send me your tweets and your comments on what we've been talking about, the advent of the 4G technology and whether at all any of us or any of you think it's going to be really, really successful, and a status symbol, as Siddhant was just telling us, mere paas hai 4G. All right. So, Shudipto, let me bring you in and let me hear hear your comments on that. Are you also going to be this mere paas hai kind of person and buy it just because it's 4G?
No, I won't be that guy. Like, because I personally feel, if I have a phone, it's supposed to suit my needs.
Right.
If it does, like, even if like I don't have a price bracket of 50,000 for a device that I'll put it in my pocket and roam around and show it to my friends. So definitely, it's not for me. And I can assure you, for most of the Indian gadget lovers, most of them won't buy this. There are multiple reasons for this, because the main reason is being the 50,000 price bracket.
Yes.
And then even Samsung, like we have the Samsung TouchWiz UI or the Nature UI we say. So there are a lot of reasons why gadget geeks won't prefer Samsung Galaxy S5. But yes, as Siddhant said, mere paas hai wala factor. So that definitely will have some conflicts between the iPhone 5s and the Samsung Galaxy S5.
All right.
Because we know iPhone is being like the most premium device you can get in the market, and even it's 4G enabled. Yeah.
Okay, so we've always had this debate on Android versus iPhone, haven't we?
Yeah.
Okay, let's bring in the iPhone 5s and the 4G.
So iPhone actually sells more on its following, and again, because certain people would like to use that OS, it is much more simple to use, much more simple to understand for some of the people out there, if not for all. So as of now, if we talk about just 4G, there is no difference in between the build of the phone.
Right.
For example, I have this phone which was launched yesterday. This is LG G3.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay. Now
so
I would love to
this is LG G3. This is not 4G enabled. However, LG will come up with this device with 4G functionality within some time. So you have it has a slightly different design.
That's on the back side.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is how the phone looks like, and this one will get launched with the 4G version very soon. As of now, the version which they have launched is 3G. So this one supports 3G only, not 4G. And what they will do is they will launch the same phone. The only difference is that it will have additional chip to support 4G.
And
it will look exactly the same.
Cost me how much more?
Even this one is approximately 47,000 rupees in the market. So
this is 47,000?
Yeah.
So when it comes with 4G enabled, it's going to be 15,000 more, 10,000 more? How much?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
It will be at least 50,000 rupees. That is something I can say for sure.
And now the Sony Xperia Z2 that we talked about is almost 50,000.
Yeah,
so when it comes with the 4G, how much will that cost?
The Sony Xperia Z2 already, I think, supports 4G.
Okay.
I'm not very sure, but I think it supports 4G.
Okay,
it has the Snapdragon 801 chipset, which does have the 4G chip, if they have actually added the same. But definitely, the difference in between the 3G version of a premium phone and the 4G version, it is approximately 15 to 10,000 rupees extra. You will have to pay for the 4G phone. Although it will look the same, it will have all the same features. It will have the same.
Be faster.
It will have the. It will be faster on the data. So whenever you are using data, because you have 4G, so you will be able to use 4G only when it is there actually. So it is not only if your phone has 4G, you are the faster one. It is also if you have that 4G connectivity in that area where you are using that phone.
Right, in the area, exactly.
So it depends on two things. Both the network provider as well as to your phone. So it is not like, even if you have a 4G phone, you will be just roaming around and then you will say, okay, I have a 4G phone, but I cannot use 4G because there is no 4G connectivity out there.
That's exactly why I asked you, how ready are we? And so probably in 2016, Siddhant, you and I will both have 4G phones and we'll be comparing it and probably we'll say, yes, we have 4G phones, mere paas hai, right?
Yeah,
okay, Siddhant, final comments from you. We've not really heard very good things. We are saying that it's expensive, battery backup is not there, and obviously, infrastructural support right now is not there. Your final comments on the 4G technology and 4G smartphones, Siddhant.
So 2 points I need to make out is, one thing is infrastructure has to be there, so that it's going to take time. It's going to take 1 to 2 years, hopefully.
Right.
Fingers crossed. And let's hope that companies which do the smartphones, they also come up with a justification of why this 10 to 15,000 is actually worth for them, for consumers.
Right.
So if they are actually providing a 4G version of the phone, with a 4G chip to actually get the bandwidth. They should maybe they could actually think of adding a more better battery backup, so that as Abhishek actually told, that the battery would come like almost like 1/4 of a day. So if companies can actually think that if 4G version has to be justified by this 15,000 extra thing, they will have to actually increase the battery backup as well as add some more features, which can actually convince their people to actually go for the 4G version.
Right. Thank you so much, Siddhant. It was great listening to you and your thoughts. Let me quickly go across to Sudipto now and hear what he has to say. So you concur, I'm sure, with all of us that not for the next 2 years.
Yeah, not for the next 2 years. But the thing is, definitely the only reason I would like to add in this, as I said, all the cons about the 4G, there's one major pro, as we discussed from the beginning. It's way faster than 3G.
So it's way faster, but then you also need to be in an area that supports it.
Yeah, exactly. Like Siddhant said, we need some infrastructure.
Yes.
And even in these next 2 years, what I would like to expect from a brand, from mobile brands, is to make cost-effective 4G devices. Like we get 3G devices under 10,000, 15,000.
Yes.
The same way we should get some 4G devices in the next 2 years.
Lovely. Thank you so much. And here's fingers crossed to both Sudipto and Siddhant that we can all easily afford to buy 4G enabled smartphones, and we can say, mere paas bhi hai. Abhishek, final comments from you.
So before I end this with this saying that 4G is actually bad, it is not that great, I would like to point out some things which are actually good about 4G.
Surely, surely.
And these things are, whenever you are talking on 3G, for example, if you're making a voice call or a video call using 3G network. So what has happened as of now is that because of the infrastructure as well as the, you can say, the crowd which is there on 3G, who is using 3G, who is using that spectrum, you tend to have a lot of call drops. You tend to have a lot of problem with the network.
Yes.
So if 4G is implemented in the right way, it can give you the kind of voice quality you expect, because it can not only be used for data, but it can also be used for voice.
Absolutely.
So if you are doing a call through 4G, you will have a much better voice clarity. And that means fewer call drops. So call drop is something which we notice almost every day on our phones. And this is because of the poor implementation, and you can say it is also because of the spectrum, which is maybe not able to handle the load which is being imposed on that particular spectrum.
Right.
So 4G is a big spectrum. It is a non-use spectrum as of now. If it is implemented properly with the right infrastructure, you can have actually much better quality of network which you get on your phone when you are traveling around, either in your city or outside.
All right. So what is required is excellent implementation of the spectrum, of the technology, infrastructural support, and of course we are pleading to all manufacturers, please reduce the price and give us more battery backup. On that, thank you so much, Sudipto. Thank you so much, Siddhant. It was great having you in the conversation. Thank you so much for your insights. I feel much more knowledgeable about the 4G technology thanks to the three of you. Abhishek, thank you so much once again for joining us. Always great having you. Please post your comments on the 4G technology and 4G smartphones on India Post Live. Of course, our Facebook page, Twitter handle @IndiaPostLive and #IndiaPostLive. We look forward to reading them. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.